Find out what's making you sick and how to heal. Anthony William is the medical medium.
Hello, I'm Anthony William, and you're listening to the Medical Medium Radio Show, where each week I talk about the most advanced healing information and secrets about health, much of which is not found anywhere else and is decades ahead of what's out there now. And I'm serious about that. I am, folks. Listen, everybody's got a symptom these days. I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, you know it, right? Are you seeing it out there? I mean, it's not just our loved ones and friends. It's everyone. I mean, if someone doesn't have an attention deficit problem, if someone doesn't have an ache and a pain, if someone doesn't have a headache, if someone doesn't have, blurry eyes, if someone doesn't have a migraine, if someone doesn't have tingles and numbness or something, or anxiety or depression or a funny tummy. What about a funny tummy? This is why I call it a funny tummy. Someone's got some kind of gut health issue, intestinal tract problem, IBS, something like that, or just a funny tummy. But the bottom line is everybody's dealing with symptoms out there. Folks, I'm seeing it. You guys must be seeing it, huh? I mean, seriously, right? Are you seeing it? Because it's going on. I remember, decades ago, it wasn't like this. It just wasn't. There were people that were not well. There were sick people out there. We've always had that. I know that. We've always had that for quite a while. But I'm serious about this. Something's changed. Something's changed, like, drastically just in the last 15 years. Just in the last 15 years, changed unbelievably, literally from night and day, where all of a sudden now chronic illness just jumped leaps and bounds. We're talking about leaps and bounds over and over. I mean, really, really, it's gotten bad. And I got to be honest about it. I have to be truthful about it because, I got your back, and it's all about making sure you have answers. It's all about making sure you have advanced information. And ironically enough, I want more advanced information out there, you guys. I want more of it out there. It's just not there. I just got to be open about it. It's just not there. I saw somebody come out with the latest information on gut health recently, and it was bad. And I'm not just saying that. I want it to be good. I want it to be good. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said to me, look, you seem to be negative about other information out there. It's not about being negative, I said. It's the information just isn't there. It's recycled. It's from 20 years ago. It's from 30 years ago. It's back from 1987 in gut health. It's recycled. And throwing into that recycled bit, they talk about some, fermentation and some different probiotics and gut biome, but that's not answers. I'm sorry, but that's not answers. And, when someone's struggling and they got celiac and they got IBS, and they got, intestinal tract problems and Crohn's, and they got colitis, or they got all kinds of other different symptoms, that information is just not answers. The same thing with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. All these experts out there now, you guys believe it. You guys are the experts now because you're tuned into the show. You're tuned into the show. You're tuned into Spirit's books. I'm going to tell you, and then when someone's an expert about a thyroid problem and all the different things and triggers and all this stuff, but they don't even know what causes the thyroid problem to begin with. They don't even know what causes Hashimoto's thyroiditis to begin with. And they put literature out there and no one even knows the cause. And you're going to hear the cause here on this show. You better believe it. Anybody tuning in just now, and this is your first time here at the show, that's what's going to happen. You're going to hear the causes, the real truth behind all these different illnesses and everything we talk about, because the information out there is literally antique shopping. I know I said that before. I'm probably driving you guys crazy. Everybody out there, you guys really have a good tolerance, actually, to hear me say, a couple of things over again. So thank you for just hanging in there with me, all right? I can't help it. But, that's what's happening now is the information that's coming out on the internet and in books and stuff. It's like antique shopping. May as well just go and buy yourself an old lamp. I know I said that before. Okay, go, let's change it around. Let's go out and buy yourself an old trunk or an old, table. Because, in an antique shop somewhere, in some barn store somewhere, listen, the bottom line is when it comes down to healing, we have to have the information. We have to know what causes that thyroid problem. We have to know what causes our gut problem. We have to know what's causing our depression and our anxiety and what's causing our fatigue. It has to be known. It can't be like, oh, it must be adrenals, your cortisol's off. No, we need to know that it's a viral fatigue. We need to know things are happening out there. We need to know what's behind fibromyalgia. We need to know behind, rheumatoid arthritis, Cushing's. We need to know what's behind Addison's. We need to know all these things have to be figured out. Eczema and psoriasis, the list goes on and on and on. Lupus, Lyme. Yep, Lyme, the ultimate confusion of all time. Okay. So listen, life is precious. We don't have 10 years for the answers, 20 years for the answers. We need to know now. And I stand behind you, and that's the whole point, and we're going to get down to the bottom of all this stuff. Let's talk about today a little bit. Today's show is about the healing powers of fruits. Ooh, I said a swear word right there. Hey, I said a swear word. Was it bleeped out, you guys? I said fruit. Was fruit bleeped out? Because if this was anywhere else on some kind of alternative medicine forum or even conventional medicine forum now, it's even getting to that point, fruit's a bad word. That's a swear word. That's a naughty word. So, did you hear the bleep? Okay, listen. The point is that we're talking about fruit today and the healing powers of it because fruit is literally crucified, and that's what's going on right now. And it has to change. It has to change because fruit is healing. It has power. It holds the magic. It holds medicine. What I'm trying to tell you is you just have to eat some fruit because no one's eating fruit. And we're going to talk about the power of fruit and what it's doing. So I don't care what belief system you adopted, what diet strategy you adopted from newfangled diets out there, from whatever it might be. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. You know about all the different diets and trends, okay? Whatever you adopt it, cool, fine. I'm just telling you now, you better bring some fruit in there. I don't care what it is, you better bring some fruit in there. And there's a reason. There's a reason, you guys. I'm serious about this. So, hey, look, everybody who's listened to this knows about my life a little bit. It started at age 4, and I heard a voice just like you're hearing a voice now, me talking. Just like a friend talks to you, it's from an outside source. And I've been given the gift to hear it from an outside source. That's different than what's out there. What it means is the information comes through whether I like it or not since age 4 that diagnosed my grandmother, and also it's given information throughout the decades to help tens of thousands of people heal. And that's a little bit about my background. But listen, you guys, we're going to go into fruit. Fruit is a scary word right now, and I meant that. I know I was kidding around saying, hey, look, did you hear the bleep? Because I said a swear. And fruit really is a bad word today. It really is. I'm serious. What comes to your mind when you hear fruit? Is it sugar? Is sugar what comes to your mind? Where did you hear that? You heard that from somewhere. And if you're into health on any level and you're into alternative medicine and you're into any kind of medicine, you're going to hear too much sugar's bad. That's what you're going to hear. Well, I got news for you, okay? Because this is about your health. This is about your life. This is about your organs inside your body functioning, giving you vitality to take you all the way to the end of this lifetime. This is about recovering from illnesses and diseases that people don't even have a clue to what causes these things to begin with. So why do we have such big experts out there claiming you shouldn't eat fruit because it has too much sugar when they don't even know what causes the most basic things like SIBO? Small intestinal overgrowth, bacterial overgrowth. They don't even know what causes the basic things of hypothyroidism. They don't even know what causes colitis. We know, but everybody's an expert saying fruit's bad when nobody knows what causes any of the chronic illnesses, the hundreds and hundreds of chronic illnesses that we're going to cover over the next year on this show. And you're going to become the expert. You're going to know more than anybody out there that deems themselves some kind of expert and is on the circuit or talking or writing books or literature. You're going to be the expert, way better than any of them. It's you. You're the one, because you're getting the information right here. You're actually getting the real information, and nothing stands in the way of that, so you can help people and help yourself and apply assistance and be there and be really entrenched in the real truth. And that makes you the expert. Okay, so it's not about, and I got to tell you something, It's not about saying, all these people, they're not doing, these experts, whatever, they're not doing good. That's not it. They're good people, and they're working hard. It's just that this is coming from a different source. This is so the fog is lifted so we can see the light. This is so you can heal. This is so you can become that authority. Because that's really what's going on, you guys. You're becoming the authorities in healing. I just heard a little story on Instagram of somebody in the line, not in line, but they were at Whole Foods, or they were at one of the health food stores, and they're picking out celery. They were getting celery, off the shelf. All right, and someone else had a whole bunch of celery too, and they were taking celery off the shelf, and they looked at each other, and one of them said, "Hey, wait a minute, is that for juicing?" And the other said, "Yeah, are you on the medical medium celery juicing protocol?" And the other person was, "Yes, I am. We're both doing the medical medium celery juice because it is that life-changing. Celery juice is incredible." So you're becoming the expert is what I'm trying to say. Look at that. And then you know more than anyone else. I even hear the health food stores are starting to boot up and just do celery juice because of you guys. Because you guys are spreading the information out there. And they're literally just offering celery juice now by itself, never before done. So now when you go to a health food store and you say, "I want straight celery juice," they don't look at you like you have 10 heads or you're an alien from outer space. It's changing as we speak because you guys, and I love you for it. I have to tell you this. And when it comes down to fruit, that's got to change too. Has to change too. Really important. Okay, look, the average American, you guys, the average American consumes 100 pounds of straight cane sugar a year. Okay, you think that everybody would say, "Hey, that's not possible." This is the average American that is health conscious. This isn't the average American that's not health conscious. The average American that's not health conscious consumes 400 pounds close to 400 pounds of table sugar a year. 400 pounds, okay? People that are health conscious, people that are like eating salads and having chicken and being cautious, and they're having that one muffin when they do, or they're at a friend's house and they have that one cannoli, whatever this, they're eating 100 pounds of straight sugar a year. And they're having that one slice of pizza where the tomato sauce has cane sugar all laced in there, and they don't even know it, and they're having this one slice of just what seems to be like a healthy slice of pizza, whatever it is. It's 100 pounds a year, of straight sugar. Just know that. All right, now check this out. Right now, in this time, Americans eat an average of 80 pounds of fruit a year. 80 pounds of fruit a year, That's average Americans. Now, that's not... No, this is what's crazy. Those average Americans that are eating 80 pounds of fruit a year, I'm not talking about people in the alternative health, movement. They're eating 20 pounds, 10 pounds of fruit a year, 5 pounds of fruit a year, 2 pounds of fruit a year. The people that are actually now all hooked into the alternative vibe right now, and they're hearing no fruit, no carbohydrate, bad for you, just protein, only protein and a few vegetables. That crowd is eating 2 pounds of fruit a year to 10 at best. I mean, that's at best. That's being generous. But the average American is eating 80 pounds of fruit a year. Let me tell you what 80 pounds of fruit a year is. It's a case of apples. It's a case of apples, in a whole year, a case of apples. It's 50 apples. It's 50 apples. I'm going to say it again. I can't help it. It's like I can't help it, right? Okay, listen, hang in there. Listen, let's get the seatbelts on because this is going to be a ride. This is going to be a real ride. Listen, 50 apples. Okay, how many days of the year is there? What's this, 365 or something, right? 365 days a year? Okay? All right, 50 apples. And that's the most it gets in the average American. So 80 pounds of fruit at best a year, Think about that right now, and guess how much sugar that is? Virtually nothing, because apples are water, pulp, fiber, pectin, minerals, vitamins, nutrients, and of course I said fiber. I'll say it again, fiber again, because different forms of fiber in the apple. And when it's all said and done, including the seeds and the core in the center and the seeds, when it's all said and done, there's very little sugar in an apple. Very little sugar in an apple. That we have to understand. See, what's happening is we're on a trend right now to take down fruit. I'm telling you right now. I'm serious about this. There's a trend to destroy fruit, okay, and to take it down. It's literally novelty as it's sitting in the store now. Not a lot of people are buying it. They throw it out by the hordes in all the health food stores and conventional stores. It's thrown out by the hordes. I'm going to tell you guys right now, okay? So we have to start eating it so they're not throwing it out. That's a whole nother game that's swept under the carpet. That's a dirty secret. I'm telling you a dirty secret right now. That the stuff is just thrown out in hordes because no one's buying it anymore. I'm being straight up, okay? So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about what's going on with it. First of all, university professors are teaching students not to eat fruit anymore. University professors are teaching students not to eat fruit anymore. I'm not talking about every university professor, okay? I got a family friend who's a university professor, and he said to me, I'm not teaching that. Which is kind of, I said, yeah, I know, but have you heard of it? He goes, yeah, I have kind of heard of that. I have. But I'm not doing it, Anthony, but I have heard of it, yes. But that's not where I got the information. I'm getting that information from students. Just so you know, that university professors are teaching students not to eat fruit anymore. I just want you to know that right now. And I know I've told you this before recently. But in one of the biggest alternative conferences, alternative medicine conferences, they start off throwing a banana against the wall. They've done that. I don't know if they do it every conference. I have to be honest about that too. I don't know if it's every one, but I know it was a bunch of them. And that was a big thing going on, and that was happening on and off in just the last 6-7 years. That was part of where this whole thing started to downslide on the fruit. So is this information important at all? I mean, yeah, it's really important. There's big reasons for this. Because without fruit, we're going to be in big trouble, really big trouble. Without fruit, we're going to go back into the vitamin C deficiencies, the deep vitamin C deficiencies, the deep ones that cause all that kind of stuff that used to happen when we had a lifespan that was like age 40. Lifespan of age 45 because we died of scurvy and squalor and rickets and infections and disease and leprosy because there was no vitamin C. And so and it gets us in trouble because vitamin C runs everything. It runs your adrenals. It cleanses the body. It detoxifies you. It detoxifies you. There's people out there that can't detox because they have no vitamin C reserves at all. There's no reserve. There's no vitamin C reserve, you guys. Where does vitamin C come from? It comes from fruit. Whether anybody likes it or not out there, I don't care who it is, who they are. If they don't understand that those deep reserves of vitamin C are critical for your vitality, for your thriving, for you being able to handle the quickening coming up, which means things are happening faster and faster. People are getting sicker faster than ever before in history. So all of this going on, it's the vitamin C reserves. It stops cancers, prevents cancers, halts cancers, protects us on all kinds of level with chronic illness. It's the deep levels of vitamin C. And there's one other thing, and this is related to vitamin C, and it's antioxidants. Antioxidants stop you from dying. We oxidize. That's what aging is, oxidizing. I hear even in longevity, in the longevity world out there, they're like anti-fruit in the longevity world. They're anti-fruit. in the longevity world. Seriously, you guys got to know this. Not the entire longevity world that's out there, in the healing arts. Not the entire group of them. I know a longevity guy that's like, no, I'm totally into fruit. Believe me, I get it, Anthony. I get the antioxidants. You don't have to tell me. I got it. And so not everybody in longevity, but the majority and the stars of longevity are anti-fruit. That means anti-longevity. Did you know that? That means anti-longevity. I'm serious about that. I'm not fooling around. I mean that. Because guess what? Guess where the antioxidants come from? The antioxidants come from fruit. And we're only eating a little bit of it now? We're being told to stop it? Yeah, I'm pretty passionate about this one. There's a reason. This is going to hurt us. This is going to knock the fertility rates right down. And fertility is going to be just thriving in fertility. And this is going to hurt us at all kinds of different levels. Our children's brains are not going to be able to develop the way they need to because they need certain pieces of the puzzle that are in fruits we're going to talk about. All these things that are going to go wrong because of this. And like I said, the longevity front's anti-fruit. They really are. Because someone messed up. And no one wants to admit a mess up because you know why? We got all kinds of, the ego thing or whatever that is that's out there. Someone said to me the other day, they said, well, it sounds like you got an ego. I go, I don't know if I do or don't. All I know is I care about people and their health and their life, and I care about their well-being, and I care if they're really sick or not because I get it. I've seen it. I know what it's like to suffer. I've watched it. I feel it, and I get it. So you can call it what it is, but I'm going to call it what you think it is, but I'm going to tell you what I think it is, and I care. And that's what I really, I really feel what someone has gone through and seen what they've gone through. And I know you guys have too. Someone was telling me that when they're around people that are suffering, they can really feel it in a way that it brings them to tears. When they're around people that are suffering with symptoms or around a loved one that has symptoms and they're struggling, and it brings them to tears. They feel it. They feel that feeling inside. I know what that is. I understand it. And it's about reclaiming our health, moving forward, rising out of the ashes and getting healthier. And that's what I stand behind. And the thing is, like the longevity thing as I was talking about. So it means basically the longevity stars of today are saying, don't eat fruit. They're saying, we don't believe in longevity, but we're going to use the word and the term. Yeah, I know it's harsh I'm saying this, but I don't care. I don't care. It's either hold it back and not tell you guys what's going on out there. So just what? I'm worried some longevity star is going to come out and start, saying stuff. I mean, the bottom line is it's about you. It's not about them. It's not about, it's not about it's about you. And here's the deal. We oxidize every day. That's how the aging process works. We're oxidizing. Bottom line, oxidizing means we're dying. Okay? And you can turn that around. You can turn that around with antioxidants. That's the one word that became pop culture in alternative medicine that is real. It really is real. So I congratulate the scientists that was like, well, wait a minute, there's something in here that's stopping oxidation inside this lemon. Wait a minute, I could see it in the lab, in the lab report. There's an antioxidant here. I congratulate that guy, okay, that did that, because it's that important and that critical. So what do antioxidants do? They stop your brain from rotting. That's what they do. And they're in fruits. They're in all the fruits. We're going to talk about some fruits too. Just hang in there for this ride. But the antioxidants stop your brain from dying. It stops your brain from rotting. Okay? It stops you from getting Alzheimer's. It stops you from getting dementia. It stops you from losing your mind. It stops you from suffering on all levels of life. It is the thing that keeps our hips from rotting. It keeps so we don't get hip replacements all the time. Antioxidants stop us from losing our hips. It stops us from have to get our knees replaced. And I understand that. I support that. If someone's hip is going and we have to replace it and it's gone too far, I stand behind technology today and surgical procedures and surgeons and the work we've done in medicine. I stand behind that 100%. I know surgeons that are doing great. I mean, everybody's working hard. But the antioxidants stop more of that from happening, stop more of the breakdown of the body on all levels. And where does that come from? Where does it come from? It comes from fruit, you guys. It comes from fruit. You believe it? I keep on saying that bad word again over and over again. I hope I'm not going to get in trouble. All right, so here's something that's really funny right now, okay? In the forefront of alternative medicine, one of the things they're saying now is that fruit causes a fatty liver. Fruit causes liver problems or a fatty liver. I can't even begin. I won't even waste your time. How about that? I won't even waste your time because your time matters to me. And I'm not even going to waste it on that one. Okay? So it's not pork that makes a fatty liver. No, it's not. It's fruit. All right? I'm being sarcastic, of course. But no, fruit doesn't cause a fatty liver. It stops a fatty liver. It reverses a fatty liver. It brings back your liver. It stops hepatitis C. It stops scarring of the liver, scar tissue of the liver. Fruit literally changes your liver health. And right now, liver cleanses are abound. And, it's all about your liver. Well, you better be bringing in a lot of fruit than it is, if that's what it is. You better be bringing in a lot of fruit. Well, all the different liver cleanses and everything else, it's all for the liver. Fruit cleanses the liver more than anything else does on the planet Earth right now. And it's being shunned. Do you see, what's happening here? All right, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm in the twilight zone, and it's just me. And I'm caught in the twilight zone right now. And everybody's right, and fruit's bad. No, they're wrong. Fruit is amazing. It's going to change your life. It's going to help you live, and it's going to help you thrive and everything. I'm going to tell you one more thing right now. Everybody's into the brain, right? You guys are into the brain. There's brain books abound, and there's brain health this and brain health that, right? Totally. I'm going to tell you right now, without fruit, the brain shrinks. It shrinks because the brain is not made up of fat. It's a very small percentage of omega oils that are in the brain. The majority of the brain is made of glycogen storage. That's a thick, gluey carbohydrate. And that's what conducts electricity. It's a carbohydrate in the brain. The brain is made out of carbohydrates, glycogen. And fruit keeps that glycogen stored in the brain so your brain does not shrink. You take away fruit out of your life completely, your brain slowly shrinks. Nobody knows that out there yet. Okay? You know, and you're now an expert. Okay? You know more than the best brain book out there right now in alternative medicine. You know more. I mean, that's amazing. Okay? That's amazing. You guys are incredible because you know that now, and that's the football right there. That's right there. You can pass that football along to someone else and change somebody's life and stop their brain from shrinking. And then, you know what? You think, how can it change somebody's life? I'll tell you why. Because if you get somebody eating fruit and they get into the habit and they bring it in every day and it's in there every day and twice a day, 3 times a day, they're eating some fruit. Here's what happens. You stop Alzheimer's in their life when they probably would have gotten it. There's a chance that person may have been an Alzheimer's victim, and that could have been their demise way, way down the road. And you just stopped it 30 years before it could happen because you gave them a habit that brought fruit into their life, like the wild blueberries. Those wild blueberries, they are the ultimate brain food of all time in history. Right now on planet Earth is the wild blueberry. And it not only reverses brain diseases, but it stops you from losing, your brain and having it get corrosive and having heavy metals wreak havoc and oxidize the brain and cause memory loss and Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's and everything else that goes wrong in our brain. And wild blueberries stop that. So when you get somebody on fruit, you get them on a habit of it, like yourself, and then you bump into somebody, you're like, hey, you really need to be doing this fruit. You don't know it, but you might have stopped them from getting dementia 20 years down the road. What a great thing is. Tell me that's not a miracle. It's a powerful miracle. I want to talk to you about eating fruit out of season. There's this big thing like you eat in season, and I'm all about eating in season. So if you're, if you got the farmer's market and the farmer's market has some type of fruit that's in that season, like apples or something, it'll have that elevated biotic I talk about all the time, like in my book, Medical Medium, right? You guys know the elevated biotic. That's the biotic no one else knows about. That's really advanced and ahead of everything else in the gut health books. And I say this, so if you just tuned in and this is your first show, you know where to get the information so you can heal and help others, because that's what it's about. So anyway, you pick that apple right at the farmer's market, and it's in season. It's incredible, without a doubt. But when fruit goes out of season, I don't want you to stop eating fruit because it goes out of season, because I'm telling you right now, it's in season somewhere else. Somewhere else on the planet, it's in season. It doesn't matter if it's shipped. It's in season somewhere else. Okay, and if you took a trip to France, or you took a trip down to Brazil or whatever it is, and there was a fruit in season there that wasn't in season here, are you not going to eat it because it's not in season? You're going to eat it. You're going to eat that melon. You're going to eat that mango. You're going to eat that papaya, whatever it is. If it's in season over there, you're going to eat it. Well, it's still in season over there regardless of where you are on the planet. So don't fall victim to that myth that's been thrown out there where don't eat anything that's out of season now. So just walk by the entire produce section because it's all out of season. Just don't do that. Okay, that's not good either. It's a whole nother thing that's gone wrong out there. So, I mean, look, the bottom line is we have to get more fruit into our bodies. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's start cutting through this a little bit, all right? This is fun. You guys relaxed? You guys relaxed? Are you guys hanging in there? Because we're going to go over some fruits. We're going to start with melons. Melons. Let me tell you right now, melons are the mother's milk of the planet. The mother's milk. Okay? They take no digestion at all. At all. They're literally pre-digested. They have so many enzymes in there that they don't need digestion at all on any level. Your body does not have to even digest it on any level. Your body instantly digests it because it's already digested. It's pre-digested. It's that powerful. And, did you ever hear about, like intravenous vitamins, you guys? Have you ever done that? You did that? Have you ever done that where you had intravenous vitamin C, intravenous glutathione, intravenous Myers cocktail, which is a multivitamin? Well, if you've ever done that, and you know that, hey, there's something to be said about that. But let me tell you this, melons are equal to an intravenous vitamin, to getting IV vitamins. Melons have a highly active water content, binding on to poisons of all kinds, mold, mycotoxins, neurotoxins from viruses like Epstein-Barr, undigested proteins, ammonia, ammonia permeability, the real problem behind, leaky gut, the real problem behind gut problems that nobody knows out there, the experts don't know, ammonia permeability, that whole thing Spirit brought to you guys. All of that gets absorbed by the minerals, the active water in melon. It's the ultimate detoxifier, pulls all the poison out of the body, can even pull radiation along with it, because the content, the water content in melon is so grounded. It's so grounding and so bioactive and so alive, and it's filled with so many electrolytes that it literally grabs onto everything that shouldn't be in the body and pulls it out of the body. Some people say, well, I don't feel good when I go on melon. I got, something. Yeah, I just don't feel that great when I go on melon. That's because it's pulling so much garbage and so many toxins and so much poison out of the body and rushing it out of the kidneys. You're not going to feel that great. It's going to tell you you're that toxic. And then when you start feeling a little bit better on melon, you've gotten rid of that much poison and you're that much more vital and you're moving forward that much more. Melons have so much silica in it, you guys. Silica. You know silica, right? So much silica. They restore joints, ligaments, teeth, bones. That's the kind of silica we're talking about. And as far as people that worry about kidney problems and kidney function, melons help restore kidneys. They give the kidneys an ability to heal. And you're talking about diabetes and blood sugar issues. Melons are amazing. Let's cut into some of the conditions that melons do, so that melons offer. Okay, Crohn's disease, colitis, peptic ulcers. Melons are incredible for these conditions. Okay, mystery infertility. And I say mystery because it's a mystery, because all this stuff is mystery. That's the whole point. In chronic illness, it's mystery. And this is about answers here. This is what it's about. So we're all keeping fruit away from people, and we don't even know what's causing these mystery illnesses. It's unbelievable. IBS, okay, irritable bowel syndromes, Barrett's esophagus, okay, that's what melons help. Embolisms, stroke, heart attack, heart disease, liver disease of all kinds, cirrhosis of the liver, liver cancer, kidney disease, breast cancer. Melons help with breast cancer. They help with breast cancer. Pancreatic cancer, melons are amazing for, okay? Epilepsy, sepsis. I don't know if you guys had known anybody with any of this. Maybe you've experienced it. H. pylori. You know the H. pylori infection? You go to the doctor and like, oh, you got H. pylori. We're testing you for H. pylori. Melons help get rid of H. pylori. And these are just some things. And in the symptom world, alleviating constipation. It helps lift up low hydrochloric acid. You know how I have you doing the celery juice to lift up that hydrochloric acid? Melons help lift it up too. So don't be afraid of melons. They help with blood sugar problems, connective tissue inflammation, tremors, chronic dehydration, bone density issues, back pain, spasms, twitching, blurry eyes, inflammation, food sensitivities, everything, blood toxicity. That's what melons help. And then they even help on an emotional level. Check this out. And just by the way, you guys, I have all this in my Life-Changing Foods book and a ton more. So the Life-Changing Foods book, you got to get a copy of this thing. And you got to get it before those babies are sold out, because I'm really getting nervous. I just don't think they're going to be that available now. They keep on hearing that people are really, looking to try to get this book right now. So check this out. Emotional support. If you're someone that's easily frightened, like you go into that shaking thing where you're like frightened, or someone gives you bad news and you're like shaking, and you're it's not really anxiety. It's like you just got hit emotionally, and you kind of got the shakes, and you don't feel good about the bad news, and you feel like you're being under attack or something. That kind of vibe. You can't bear bad news good. Or, you're dealing with a heavy load and you're emotionally sensitive, or you got like some PTSD where if someone gives you some bad news every time, you start shaking a little bit. All of this, melons can aid. They can aid in this nervousness. They can help in this nervousness. And they can help heal this reaction we get over time. But here's the deal. You got to eat a melon. And some people, they say, well, I'll say to them, like, when's the last time you had a melon? And they were like, well, I don't know. I had one. And be like, when? And be like, I don't know. And they start thinking about it. It was last year. Last year they had a melon. Let's hit another one. We got to get through this. Lemons and limes. Are you guys doing the lemon water? Squeeze it in a glass of water. I talk about it in my book and everything. And that's been around for a long time. I've been pushing the lemon water thing around for decades. I remember I was 6 years old, and Spirit told me to have someone do lemon water. I was 6 years old. If you go all the way back then, no one was talking about lemon water. In fact, when you told somebody to actually do lemon water, they looked at you like you had 10 heads. All right, so, it's the same thing if you told somebody to be wheat gluten-free 35 years ago, 40 years ago. You tell somebody 40 years ago to be wheat gluten-free. And yeah, they thought you just got off of a spaceship. So, it's important to understand that, I'm glad that we're doing different things now, but we got to know where we were. It's really amazing. Lemons and limes. Look, you guys, these are the ultimate hydrators. Ultimate hydrators. I don't know if hydrator is a word. I'm just telling you that it creates tremendous amounts of hydration on a deep level. Deep hydration from, when we walk around with chronic dehydration all the time, just so you know. Like, you could be dehydrated. And so you got to get the lemon lime water going. Squeeze it in the glass, get it going every day. Do 16 ounces of lemon lime water every day, okay? Lemon and lime trees send their roots deep into the earth, extracting dozens of precious trace minerals that have everything to do with neurotransmitters in our brain. Neurotransmitters. Those are the neurotransmitters that keep us thinking, talking, walking, speaking. It comes from these lemon and lime, these trees. The roots go deep into the earth. And we receive these trace minerals when eating the lemon or lime. So we receive these trace minerals when eating the lemon or lime, or juicing it, or putting it on food, or putting it in your guacamole, or in water, okay? And literally, they're a driving force for electrolyte production. There's electrolyte drinks out there. They're really not good. Okay, I've looked at them. I'm like, this is just dead. This is just dead. You know what your electrolyte drink is? You squeeze lime in a glass of water. You squeeze lemon in a glass of water. Okay? And, don't be afraid of doing this. Don't be afraid of doing this. Don't be scared thinking you're putting sugar in your water. We can't think that because it's just so off the game. And it's not your fault. It's just misinformation flying around everywhere. Let's talk about the power of lemons and limes. Let's do that right now. Urinary tract infections, UTIs, incredible. Lemons and limes are incredible for that. Staph infections. You guys worried about staph? We're going to talk about staph someday. Kidney disease, kidney stones, gallstones, pancreatitis, rosacea, okay, conjunctivitis, pneumonia. You guys dealing with any of this, you should be doing lemon water every day. Multiple sclerosis, which we know is Epstein-Barr. I talk about it in Medical Medium. If you don't have the Medical Medium book by now, I don't know what to say. I don't have words, okay? So, bottom line, I hope you have it and get that book so you can learn what causes multiple sclerosis and rheumatoid arthritis and so much more. Okay, so mystery infertility, lemons, limes help with that. Diabetes, influenza, everything that we deal with in today's world, all the way from, herpes, simplex 1 and 2, acne from strep that we talked about in the strep show, cancers, strep throat, AFib, lemon and lime. I mean, come on. And symptoms like, muscle pain, postnasal drip, earaches, digestive tummy discomfort, lemon and lime. It's amazing for all of this. Unquenchable thirst. If you guys just feel real thirsty, you're chronically dehydrated. Lemons and limes help on all kinds of levels. They lift hydrochloric acid. They help with headaches. They help with neurological problems, inflammation, you name it. And on an emotional level, check this out. On an emotional level, okay, lemons and limes help with feelings of sadness. Feelings of sadness. So someone told me the other day, they said, you know what, Anthony, I feel sad like at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock at the end of the day, it hits me, this deep sadness. I said, what you have to do? You have to squeeze lemon and lime, but do both of them right in a glass, 16 ounces. And you drink that at 3 o'clock, an hour before. And they did it first day and already reported that it's changing that sadness because it lifts the spirits, it lightens the heart, it helps get that melancholy out of us in troubled times. That's the power of lemon and lime, and that's from Spirit, that information, you guys. That's from Spirit. You can't find that anywhere else. It's from Spirit. So we have to give Spirit a little credit here. Because it's not me delivering this information. I'm just a voice and a messenger for Spirit. Let's go into some more. Grapes. Are you afraid of grapes? That's what I want to know. Are you afraid of them? Because I hear about it all the time. Oh, grapes. Whoa, grapes. Sugar. Too much sugar. And that's what I hear about grapes, is that there's just too much sugar involved. But that's not accurate, actually. Not accurate at all. Grapes don't have a lot of sugar. I'm being straight about this. They don't. You know what grapes have? They have a sourness to them. They have a sour nature to them. Okay? They have a tart nature. If they had that much sugar, they wouldn't be tart. They wouldn't be slightly sour. You wouldn't detect any sour nature. You wouldn't detect any tartness to any grape at all if there was that much sugar in grape. There really isn't. I mean, of course, if you juice tons and tons and tons of grape and then concentrate it, then juice it, then reconcentrate it and concentrate it again, you're going to then build up the fructose, and that's what you're going to do. But I'm talking about eating grapes is what I'm talking about. Okay, they're misunderstood completely. Let's talk about the power that grapes have, the antioxidant power that keeps our brain healthy, that detoxes and revitalizes every organ. You know, grapes kill off viruses, help eliminate radiation, help even take out heavy metals out of the gut and liver. They do. They still have some power to even remove some of the metals, even though I talk about the heavy metal detox of choice that I like best. Bring in some grapes too, and don't be afraid of them. They are the anti-ager. They are the longevity anti-aging fruit. It's grapes. Pick the one you want. The darker the grape, the more medicine, and the more medicine quality, the darker the grape. But pick the one you want anyway. Any grape is powerful. It eliminates mold right out of the bloodstream, right out of the body. Mold exposure, okay? Helps reverse macular degeneration, hypertension, okay? Kidney disease, kidney stones, ADHD, autism. Grapes are critical for autism. Breast cancer, diabetes, endometriosis, PCOS. Okay? You know what they tell women to do with PCOS? Ovarian cysts, you know what they tell them? They tell them to eat eggs. They tell them to eat eggs. The authorities, the best experts there are, tell our women, in the world, and young women and older women of any kind of woman that has ovarian cysts and any kind of PCOS, to eat lots and lots of eggs. Lots of eggs, 4 to 5 eggs a day. All that does is grow more cysts, and actually grows them out of control. Causes an absolute disaster, and that's the best information out there, you guys. And when it comes down to grapes are life-changing for PCOS. And even PMS symptoms, everything that we deal with in that realm of reproductive system. Fibroids, grapes help. I see we're running out of time. We got to get through this a little bit. If you're dealing with any kind of liver issues, grapes are a miracle worker. For sluggish liver, stagnant liver, fatty liver, they're the ultimate cleansing food. Okay, so remember that. And grapes pull out metals and pesticides and a whole bit. Let's move on to something else if we can. Let's move on to figs. Let's go. Let's hit the figs. We're going to have to. All right, so figs get rid of parasites out of the intestinal tract, bacteria, staph, E. coli, streptococcus, SIBO-related bacteria like strep, antibiotic-resistant bacteria like strep. Figs get rid of it. Parasites, any kind of bug that's in the intestinal tract that shouldn't be there, figs get rid of. But here's the other thing. Here's what you don't know, nobody knows, is that the skin of the fig feeds good bacteria, but also has a phytochemical in there to kill bad bacteria. So there's information that's in a fig tree that's thousands of years old, in a fig tree, information that's designed to repel bad bacteria but feed good bacteria. When you eat a fig, remember that. The power that's incredible. Figs stop IBS, celiac disease. If you're not eating some figs once in a while, you don't have to eat a ton of them. Just eat a handful of figs when they're out. And maybe some dried figs, high-quality dried figs. Eat a couple of those once in a while. That's what you need to do. And Spirit says that you should eat your figs in numbers of 9. That's what Spirit tells me. I have that in Life Changing Foods book. So you really have to check this book out. It's loaded with this information, plus so much more. I couldn't even cover it on these shows. It's not possible to cover it on these shows. There's no time to cover it. There's too much information. But eat your fig in number of 9s. That's 9 figs a day. Okay? That because every fig tree, and I'm going to give you a piece of information that's not out there anywhere that comes from Spirit. Every fig tree ends on a 9, meaning all the figs that grow on that tree, that fall off the tree, that it has in that season, equal to number 9 in the end. Never does it equal any other number. It never lands on a 2. It never lands on a 4. It never lands on a 5. It ends on a 9. And that's the power of the fig tree and the universe and God to know that that's what happens with the fig tree. And then when you eat your figs in a number of 9, it's life-changing. And it helps reduce literally so many of these illnesses we deal with. From everything from like stomach pain, nausea, cartilage issues, blurred vision, enlarged spleen, clogged veins and arteries, constipation, itching, trigeminal neuralgia, scar tissue in the liver, nerve inflammation, appendix issues, everything, sinus issues. That's the power of the figs. And an emotional level, okay, emotional wounds formed from feeling excluded. Did you guys ever feel like you're excluded at all? Like, did you ever get that feeling? Well, I felt like that when I was a child for a little while because of having this gift and everything. I just couldn't do the reindeer games, couldn't play all the reindeer games with everybody else because this gift wasn't letting me. I felt kind of excluded for a little while when I was a child. And then Spirit told me, bring in figs. And it helps aid that exclusion. It helps get you feeling better about that. So that's something to think about, too, is that's the power we have. Coming to the end of the show, I thank you for just being, here with me right now. I love you for it. Thank you for spreading the information. Blessings, seriously, from my heart and soul to you. You are becoming an expert with health, and I'm realizing that, and I see it. I love you dearly. I believe in you. I know what you've been through. Check out medicalmedium.com. Look for life-changing foods, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.